Welcome to UFO Headline News with me, Heidi Hollis, where I aim to bring you the latest in UFO reports and other fascinating stories from around the globe. Today is Thursday, February 22nd, 2018, and on Fridays at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, join me for my talk show, The Outlander, where I answer your emails, take your calls, and interview some intriguing guests. Just go to HeidiHollis.com for more information. And also go to irnchat.com to chat, interact, and listen live to The Outlander Show. Blasting off with some fantastic UFO reports, as always, right? UFO sighting in Cornwall, England. This occurred July 24th, 2017. The witness states, I was taking pics while on holiday in Cornwall. Saw these in the pics later on. In more detail, I was on holiday. We stopped to take some pictures of the beautiful countryside, and I noticed a lot of strange objects in the pics. I know there was no sound and no sighting by eye, but they are there in the pics. The other one, I was taking pics as we were driving past an Air Force base, and there seems to be UFOs in those also. One being chased by a plane or something. Also, we never saw with our eyes, but they are in the pics. You have to zoom in, but they are there. The next UFO sighting happened in Alpena, Michigan. This occurred February 13th, 2017. Flashing yellow light took indirect path northeast to southwest while circling twice. While going to bed, I looked out the window into the north sky. The Big Dipper was vertical in the background in this view. I witnessed a flashing yellow light that took an indirect path in the sky from northeast to southwest. The object made two circles in the sky, the second much larger than the first. These maneuvers could never be performed with modern military aircraft. They were circular patterns at a very high rate of speed. Okay. UFO sighting in Deroche, British Columbia. This occurred January 2nd, 2016. Predicted by me, and not anything I've seen before. Okay, I'm confused. All right, in more detail. About 75 lights altogether moving silently, slowly, and parallel to the ground, about 300 feet up. It was big, probably 40 to 60 feet wide, with 50 white lights in the front outline of what can be described as a shield. Behind the shield was a saucer shape with 10 orange lights. One that needed replacing. What? It was dull and kind of fading brighter than dull. The UFO's headlights were out. I think that's the first I have ever heard that a UFO's headlight was out. He should have got a ticket then. That's just not right. They surrounded a red flashing light. It was around negative 20 Celsius and clear. Either it was a nut in a parachute with a chassis to hold the lights and a silent motor, or it was a freaking alien. LOL. I slowed the footage down to 1/8 of the original and saw an unexplained count of lights. Okay, flashing almost in a pattern, but the only flashing light we saw was the red one in the lower middle and the fading orange one beside it, while the remains 9-ish orange lights and 60-ish white lights remained on at all times. My phone should have picked up all the lights. Instead, I have some sort of flashing. I need the film analyzed properly. Well, okay. Oh, goodness, this is a name. UFO sighting in Ribeirão Preto, state of Sao Paulo. This occurred February 14th, 2018. UFO Brazil. I was in the window watching as I noticed the UFO standing in the woods behind the house at a height of 30 meters. The UFO emitted a strong light blue-green, as if it were an oval-shaped luminous propeller, and after 30 seconds, stopped, blinked, and disappeared. And that's it. UFO sighting in Window Rock, Arizona. This occurred February 15th, 2018. Clean, white light object, square shape, warp-like speed across my field of vision, then just disappeared. Whew, okay. That's interesting. And they're saying approximately 1 mile north of Route 264, Window Rock, Arizona. Yeah. Oh, Arizona. I saw pure white light. I'm bumbling around here. Object ahead of me, less than 1 mile away, not very high in sky. It was stationary for a second or two and then traveled at warp-like speed from west to east a short distance and then just disappeared. I immediately slowed my vehicle and wondered, what the heck was that? The object did not reappear while I continued my travel north to Fort Defiance. I arrived at work at 7 p.m. and shared my experience with a coworker. She shared that she and her teenage son witnessed a bright white light south of Route 264 about 3 or 4 days earlier. A similar sighting. Bright, pure white light for a second or two and then disappeared. Later, I shared my sighting with other coworkers, and one of the coworkers said that she saw the same thing that I did. She was on way to work and stated she saw it approximately 6:45 p.m. In the meantime, the first coworker spoke with her teenage son, who shared that his friend's father was chopping wood at approximately the same time and also saw the same thing. The friend's family lives in the vicinity of the sighting. Later, I spoke with another coworker whose two buddies together saw a similar sighting in the same area the previous evening, February 14th. So, that's 3 people on February 15th, 2 people February 14th, and 2 more people a few days earlier, all seeing a similar light or object movement. Wow, they put. I didn't say that. They put wow. Black Triangle in Mesa, Arizona. Woo, UFO blast from the past. This occurred February 28th, 1997. Saw big lights in a kind of triangle shape, but only see 2 huge white lights, round in shape, over a saguaro lake north, top parking lot by Marina. I was with a friend at lake looking at night sky when all of a sudden I saw a bright light coming over the mountain behind us. I said, "Look." We both stood there for about 5 seconds and it just got bigger, and between the lights there was nothing but darkness. No stars. So I said, "What does that look like?" "It looks big, like something I have. I think it's." Then we both ran back to the car and went back to the place we were before we decided to go out there. I said, "It looks like a UFO, like in the movies," he said. It looked like something. Before we ran to car, it moved southwest direction really fast. Okay, editing. I don't know what the heck they're really trying to say. Okay, UFO sighting in Quipos. This occurred January 31st, 2018. Only visible on the camera. Invisible to the human eye. I was a passenger in the front seat of a friend's car on the Pan American Highway on my way to go fishing in Quipos, Costa Rica at approximately 4:25 p.m. in the afternoon. I decided to take a vacation photo on the palm trees on both sides of the road through the windshield as we were driving. I observed an object moving erratically on the screen of my tablet that I was using as a camera. However, when I looked over the screen of the tablet and out of the windshield, the object was not visible. Yet as soon as I again looked at the screen of the tablet, the object was observable once again and moving erratically and at a high speed. I was completely baffled as to what was going on. The object was invisible to the naked eye and could only be seen with the aid of the camera lens on the tablet screen. I guess filters must be involved. Um, the movements of the object were incomprehensibly fast and erratic. I hoped for the best and just kept taking pictures, hoping that the camera would capture something. I never even really saw what I was taking pictures of until later in the evening when I got a chance to be by myself and look at the pictures. I was shaken and excited all at the same time. I also took video of the object. Isn't that fascinating? I'm going to click on this while I'm talking here. See if I can spot this, what they're saying. Hopefully, the images are on here. And it looks like they are. Isn't it interesting how we are not able to see these things, but they will show up on camera and on video? And here we sit going, why was I not allowed to see that? Oh, okay, I'm clicking on it. Oh, this is a pretty picture, though. Okay, I'm zooming in to see. Okay, I don't see anything in that picture. All right, I'm going to click over to the other one. They got quite a few. Okay, where's the image? Where's the thing? Okay, I don't know. They sent some pictures here and posted them that don't seem to have anything in it. Oh, Shazam! Shazam! Isn't that interesting? It looks kind of like a black triangle, but fuzzy. Can you? Oh my gosh, you guys got to check this one out. It is so in your face. I'm going to click on the next one and see what we got here. Wow. There it is again. So it's almost like in a couple of the images, it was, wow, like creating this black cloud. And then it became like rather solid looking black thing. And they said it was moving around erratically. Maybe that's why it looks, whoa. Oh, I got goosebumps. What is that? And it made the clouds have like sharp corners. Oh, this is so cool. Oh, you guys have got to check this one out. This is really fascinating. Well, thanks, MUFON, for allowing those to be up there. But I guess because it's not very clear, it's large. It's large, but it's not really clear. So I guess MUFON allowed that to go through. I don't know. I'm just messing with you. But but wow, imagine that. How many things are zipping through the sky and we are not able to see it? Why is that? They just happened to pull out their iPad and was able to see this thing. That is really ridiculously cool. You guys go to ufoheadlinenews.com and click on that one. Ooh, I have links to everything. All right. Next, UFO sighting in San Jose, California. This occurred February 16, 2017. Flying disc, spinning, changing colors, flight pattern varied, powered different speeds. Okay. First thought in orbit followed Orion's belt 25 to 40 degrees left, 45 to 50 degrees up from straight, and that's all they said. UFO sighting in Lexington, Kentucky. This occurred February 10th, 2018. Two different objects. One was star-like, but was very low at night. I was driving around about 8 p.m. on about February 10th, 2018. Around the corner from me, I noticed a bright star-like object, but it was very, very low in the night sky. So I parked my car and began taking pics. I felt I would get something, so there are 4 particular pics that I took consecutively, because I saw this green orb-like thing floating down straight diagonally. I saw the green orb moving. When you zoom into the green orb thing, it looks like an alien face. The other brighter star, stayed stationary, I'm pretty sure. But when I got home, I zoomed in on all of the pics I took, and that thing looks like it has structure to it. It seems to change its shape also. It looks totally different. It will look square sort of shape, then it will look like a UFO with lights all around it in a circle. It seems strange to me, so I wanted to report it, and I think if you...
What a matchup!
And what a team, Mike. Metro PCS and the iPhone SE for $0 on a network that covers 99% of people in the U.S. Oh, impressive.
Play with the best. Switch to Metro PCS on an unlimited LTE plan and get a 32-gig iPhone SE for $0. Metro PCS. Coverage not available in some areas, plus sales tax. Claim based on talk and text. Not valid for active numbers currently on the T-Mobile network or active on Metro PCS in the past 90 days. See store for details and terms and conditions.
Think it's a UFO or what? I also saw a bright white light somewhere in the sky, so I have several pics. Some I went ahead and cropped and parted the sky out, and some I just left alone. For comparison, they all need to be zoomed in so you can see everything clearly. Otherwise, they look like a dot in the sky. So I have other pics of stars, and these look nothing like them. That's also why I decided to send this. It just felt like I was being watched over. Though, who knows? I just feel what I feel and know what I know. Anyways, here are the pics. I hope you can for sure tell me what you think, as I am just curious. Well, thank you for your time. Please, there is one pic of the moon that I thought looked kind of funny up close. Okay. Alright, moving on. UFO sighting, they just say in California. Well, that's cool that it took place in California. This occurred February 16th, 2018. I see this almost nightly, they state. I see these lights almost nightly from my bedroom window. My fiance also sees them. They form triangles. They divide like cells. They have moods. They sometimes camouflage like stars or planes. Always find them near the Calix radio towers on the Berkeley Hills. They disappear and reappear. There is always a main light. I have seen up to 7 lights in total. I'm watching them right now. I don't have a great camera. Just this one attached to my older generation iPad mini. The only footage I have that even captures anything was from the first night, so you can imagine my frustration thus far trying to capture them. LOL. You know, I bet that's frustrating. You keep seeing something that you know is out of the ordinary and you just can't get a good pic. I guess we should all be going around with GoPro cameras attached to our foreheads and just filming randomly because apparently there's UFOs in the sky that our naked eyes can't see. I wonder how good the GoPro camera is able to dip into that. Alright. UFO sighting in Culver City, California. This occurred January 22nd, 2018. Starlight like light during day flies in, hovers and changes directions and disappears. I was taking a break smoking a cigarette near the parking lot of the building I work in when I looked up in the sky and an object which looked like a star. It was about 12:20 p.m. when I first saw it. It flew in from the east to the west towards the area of Marina del Rey or Santa Monica and was north of my position about 75 to 80 degrees above the horizon. It flew in a very straight line, slowly, then suddenly stopped. It sat there, hovering for nearly a minute, it seems, and then began to fly what seemed like straight up, gaining altitude. Then suddenly it seemed to change direction and made what seemed to be a right angle turn and began heading east again. It flew in that direction for a little bit, maybe 20 seconds, then suddenly made another right angle turn and began to look like it was descending, losing altitude. Then again it stopped. It hovered there for about a minute again, roughly about northeast of me, in the direction of Hollywood. Then it took off. No acceleration, just immediate speed towards the northeast. It's what seemed to be an ascending direction towards, I guess, the valley, and disappeared. That event lasted very short, maybe only 3 or 4 seconds at most. I would like to say that this is the 3rd time in the last 6 or so months I have seen the same or similar object while at work. This was just the first time I could take a picture clearly enough to see it. My work is in Culver City next to the Fox Hills Westfield Mall, just off the 405 freeway exit for Slauson and the 90 freeway, about roughly 5 or so miles from the LAX exit. lots of planes and helicopters around. I am a fan of aircraft of all types and can tell different types of planes and their livery from each other. This was not a plane or helicopter. My picture was taken at 12:25 p.m. according to my phone. All right, well, I'm going to pounce on over to the paranormal point and read you a couple of shorter stories today. This one is entitled, What Was in the Tree? These are people sharing their personal paranormal encounters. This is a true story, even if no one believes me. I am from a southern African country called Botswana, and I live close to the Okavango swamplands. There is a lot of small islands that people camp. When I was about 10, my dad, my uncle, and myself were going on a camping trip to an island that we gave the name Butterfly Island. Now, this is not where the encounter of the creature. It was on the way to the island when we saw an island that looked nice to have lunch. So, after we eat lunch, my dad and uncle decided to stay the first night there. This made me happy, as I could explore. After about 30 minutes of walking in the bush, I heard a loud clicking sound from all around me. It sounded like the predator, but different. When suddenly I heard branches breaking above me. This made me fall as I thought the branches were going to hit me. When I looked up, all I saw were red eyes looking down on me. This made me feel hollow, like it was looking through me. When the black-bodied creature started pushing its way through the branches, showing wings, and it started to flap until it jumped down, ready to grab an easy meal. When I saw that, I didn't even realize that I was sprinting through the bush until I ran into something. I looked up, and I saw it was my dad, and when he saw me drained of color, he asked what happened. All I said was, it was an animal. I can't remember what, but all I saw the rest of that trip were red eyes in my dreams. No nightmares. I don't know what it was, but I will never forget it. Wow. That sounds like Mothman, doesn't it? Kind of that little Mothman prophecy thing. Sounds like the bat that is infiltrating Gotham City, called Chicago, where I'm at right here, too. Pretty crazy stuff. All right, here we go. Next paranormal point of a story. This one is called Humanoid in Colorado. I hope there's humans there. A little backstory. First, my name is Jared. No, not the one from Subway. And I live in Estes Park, Colorado. Normally, my family and I go camping out in the middle of nowhere because we're literally so close to the mountains. But I'm begging my parents to get out of here and move to the city after what happened to me that dreaded night. It was around 4 days ago when my dad said we were going camping. I was looking forward to it this time. Gosh, another camping trip. Because I'm into unidentified creatures and such. So I was wanting to find Bigfoot or some other creature. When we arrived to the middle of nowhere, what a destiny, I suddenly felt uneasy. And no, it wasn't being watched. It was just like nausea, like I wanted to puke right there. But it went away. When we were setting up our tents, fast forward to the next morning, I remember waking up at around 4 a.m. and I remember getting the same feeling again, but 10 times stronger. I went outside for fresh air. I regret what I did right there because as soon as I got out of my tent, I swear, I saw what looked like Freddy Krueger had a kid with E.T. Ooh, I'm trying to imagine that. That sounds pretty gross. I hoped it didn't see me and went right back to my tent. The rest of the day went on normally until nighttime when my dad and I were outside around the campfire around 2 a.m. when all of a sudden we hear a screech so terrible and demonic that would make you deaf for a second. It took me a minute to remember about what I saw that morning, and I told my dad to pack everything and leave. We didn't leave until the next day, which was 2 days ago. We packed everything up and left. I was looking through the window when I saw it again. Its eyes were enormous with a lifeless stare that would leave you in shock. The dirty, raggedy skin made it look worse, but we rushed right past it. We got home and my family were watching a movie or something while I was ironically watching Darkness Prevails when we decided to go to sleep. I felt the same dang feeling again for what seemed like ages, but it never went away. I went downstairs to get a glass of milk and some Oreos to calm myself, but all of a sudden, I hear that screech again, and in pure shock and fear, I grabbed a knife and ran to my bedroom and stayed away from my windows. Then I remembered that while we brought our things in, I left the back door open. What? But it was too late. I heard the back door open, and I heard what was like centipedes next to my door. Oh, gross. I didn't want to die that night, and I actually cared for my life and my family, so I turned my Spager on. What do they mean? Speaker? And put on a very loud alarm to wake my family up while I opened my window to get out of the house. We all left safely, but I still remember that stare. I looked up to my bedroom window and saw the thing staring down at me with hatred. Right now I'm typing this at my aunt's house in Denver, and I'm thinking of staying here permanently. Huh. Okay. I'm trying to imagine what this person is sharing. They said Freddy Krueger and E.T. if they had a baby. Okay, so E.T. had big eyes, and they were black. Freddy Krueger wore a hat, and he had really nasty looking skin, and he looked like a man. For some reason, this person didn't describe exactly what this being looked like, but this sounds like the Hat Man to me. What is the Hat Man? Well, go to HeidiHollis.com. I named the freaking character. He is this guy that likes to go around in a three-piece suit. He wears a hat very much like Freddy Krueger did from Nightmare on Elm Street. Sometimes he has a top hat. Sometimes he has no hat. He seems to stand in shadows. He can have red glowing eyes or big black eyes, and he'll step out from the shadows and he'll just be the worst thing you ever did see, and he will follow you. He will track you down. He will come into your home. You'll see him after an accident. You'll see him after a death. He'll just draw the life out of you. He is a horrible, low-down, good-for-nothing piece of crap. And there you have it. All right. I want to say thank you for listening to UFO Headline News with me, Heidi Hollis, and be sure to check out UFOHeadlineNews.com every single day and tune into my other count them, two weekly shows. The Outlander on Fridays, and I co-host on The Kevin Cook Show every Tuesday. Both shows are at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, and see my paranormal comic strip, The Outlanders, at theoutlanderscomic.com. Direct links can be found to everything on HeidiHollis.com or InceptionRadioNetwork.com. And if you've experienced something out of the ordinary and want some level-headed advice, or if you've seen a UFO and want to share, be sure to write me at UHN@InceptionRadioNetwork.com. Remember always to keep an open mind so you can stay informed and inspired.
What a matchup!
And what a team, Mike. Metro PCS and the iPhone SE for $0 on a network that covers 99% of people in the U.S. Oh, impressive.
Play with the best. Switch to Metro PCS and an unlimited LTE plan and get a 32-gig iPhone SE for $0. Metro PCS. Coverage not available in some areas, plus sales tax. Claim based on talk and text. Not valid for active numbers currently on the T-Mobile network or active on Metro PCS in the past 90 days. See store for details.